And we'll move on to the story that you unfortunately have to take because it involves a name that I don't think either of us are totally sure how to pronounce. But that is Mara acquiring a majority stake in an HPC subsidiary. Matt, what is going on here? I thought Mara didn't want to do HPC stuff.
You conveniently did not name the subsidiary here, which I'm going to attempt and say it's Exaon. For 168 million here, dollar deal with the option to actually acquire more. That payment is equivalent to 64% stake Mara has taken, but they have the option to pay another 127 million to get to 75% stake. So Exaon is a subsidiary HPC provider of EDF, right? That's the deal there. And they have all these partners with kind of bulge bracket names: NVIDIA, Deloitte, TCRSI, which I'm unfamiliar with, but seems bigger than you would suspect. So, different kind of government consulting, hardware supply chain type of relationships here that potentially make this interesting as well. It's like Mara has some global operations and ties, right? And this is kind of furthering, I guess, a footprint into the European side of things as well as the HPC market. Interesting story. I'll throw it over to you. I do think there are other stories to come that are more impactful. I'll say that. Foreshadowing.
The reason I wanted to zoom in on this one is because, and just a few more housekeeping items, they have 64% stake. They have the option to expand it to 75% through an additional investment of 127 million. That option is through 2027. The reason I chose this is because Mara has been very vocal on its earnings calls, and whenever they get lobbed a question about HPC and AI, that they're not really looking to compete in that market the way that other miners are. But what they have mentioned is that they would be interested in setting up shop on one of these AI data centers, specifically inference data centers, and deploying mining rigs to soak up any electricity that's not being used when inference use is down. So these AI data centers have to purchase, they have power purchasing agreements. They're allotted certain amounts of power. If that's not being monetized, they might lose out on some revenue, and they increase their costs when they're not actually producing anything, right? So I think roughly the idea is that you have Bitcoin miners on those sites. Bitcoin miners ramp up when inference is ramping down, and you can kind of balance accordingly. And I have no other information on this other than what I saw on the Miner Mag, but I wonder if this is part of that play. 64% is a huge stake. And the other thing that that Mara has talked about, and this fits in with this, considering it's the EDF, it's nationally owned by the French government. They've talked about wanting to partner with sovereigns more, right? They want to partner with nation states. We've already seen this in the UAE. It looks like this might be their next one that they're working on. They're trying to find ways to embed themselves with nation states because I think they feel like that gives them a competitive edge. They can be closer to the electricity supply with some of these nationally owned grids. The prices should be cheaper as a result. So not really anything huge right now, but I think this is going to be a story to watch to see just exactly how this relationship develops.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the episodes we put out. Also, check us out on Spotify, Apple, and elsewhere.